governor he just fired, who was in court today suing to keep her job in a fight that could determine the future of the Federal Reserve. Here's Steve Gutierrez.
Tonight, an increasingly tense showdown as President Trump moves to reshape federal government agencies traditionally seen as non-political. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook in court this morning, suing to keep her job after the president fired her over allegations she lied on a mortgage application, listing 2 homes as her primary residence to get better loan terms, which she denies.
He has the cause that he needs to fire this individual, and so we'll continue to fight this battle.
Cook's lawyer telling the judge this allegation of fraud has become the weapon of choice for this administration. The judge not ruling today, leaving the Fed in limbo. But it comes as President Trump pressures the central bank to lower interest rates.
That's fundamentally what this is about. Who makes the decisions about this country? Is it those the American people elect, or is it unelected bureaucrats?
Well, overnight, Health Secretary...
See, when it comes to most of these things, it's a pattern, right? And it becomes worse because most patterns get copied from something that they believe is better than them. So something that's more, got more power, right? And so you see like Steve-Os on the internet, right, that hurt people. They end up fixing the problem in some areas because they're, oh, it's just a joke, man. We're going to make money. Here's some money. And they go, oh, yeah, cool, I'll get in on it. And they hurt each other, right? It's a similar thing when it comes to the government. The government does one thing, like I talk about with the cigarettes and all these things. It's showing what to do, right? Because people look up to it and they go, well, the government does it and the government's using this and we hear about loopholes on this and if they say you should do this and they do it, then we should do it. They say it's this, right? They say we can do this, and with all these problems, what you get is you get trapped and you'll get fraud. People can go fraud, this, you're doing this and doing that, and you have to wait till stories to find out. Some people could be doing fraud, as I believe fraud is something that you do when you're doing well as well. There's no need to do fraud, right? There was no action done onto you, but you just want to make some more money kind of thing, or do over someone or something like that, is classed as fraud, right? A lot of these people get done with fraud because of loopholes. Even some loopholes can be done there for 10 years. Someone else can get done for fraud for the same thing because the government that we look up to are so slow and argue and can't get things done, you see. So the best way to fix the people's society is you start from the government and work your way down and make sure the government are fixing everything straight away. Not going to complain about it. They're not going to do the little tricks and gander here because we hear about them all the time. In the end, when it comes to these frauds, guess who the biggest fraudsters are? The actual government leaders that do all these things and make these things happen and then go away, right? And then they get away with it. And yet they've done steps and actions that cause things and deaths like what they did in COVID-19, right? And did wrong actions and find out. And yet these people can walk away. That's like the biggest fraud of getting away with things that you were a big part and outcome of. And people should be more, and if they got charged, right, they might think about things more. But because they get away with it and don't get charged, see, everyone believes, oh shit, we can get lawyers, we can do this, we can use loopholes, they do it, so I might as well do it, they did it, so that's why I did it, right? But it really, the only way to really fix it, definitely if you've got governments that are doing that, is to fix themselves. They need to look themselves in the mirror, find out commandments or something that they've got to live by so they can keep the rest of them going, like America with their constitution, right? We've got a constitution. Obviously, the constitution's failing, right? You try something for a while, and then if it doesn't work, you change it, right? Why hasn't that happened? And then we can't change things because they take so long to change, which is what I was talking about. 10 years later, someone else is getting done for a loophole that could have been shut down and the government know about it. But they argue and cause so much crap and so much problems, right? And then they can just run away. How crazy is that? Right? And yet the government and other companies and the people are fighting amongst each other. So these people, none of the people can get away with it and then pass the buck. When you're in the top position, you should be getting the top bad results of what happens. You're reliable, isn't it? But these top positions are not reliable for anything. They can go for selfies. They can literally fail in what they do and don't even get smacked and get re-elected again, like Elbow now with the $275 failure. Right? It was basic. They can't even do their basics. And if they can't do that, why do they expect the people to do their basics? You see? Have you ever heard of the child go, well, mummy, you're doing that? And then you have this, you know what the government is? The mother goes back to, well, you don't do what I do, you do what I say. Have you ever heard of that before? But that can only be true if you know you're righteous. But is the government righteous? No. So the first they need to get righteous to the science where they can beat every debate. Just shut them up. And if they want to debate something, where is that debate coming from? Are they getting paid? Are they in the right area? Why is this argument continuing? You see? But it doesn't, does it? I think there's a lot of problems to be fixed, and I think we're pretty much already screwed for a while unless the government can finally get a government that goes, all right, we've got to do this constitution. We can see the problem. We're in this. The only way to get out of it, it's the best time to do it. And go, we're going to do this. These are the rules. We're going to follow by it. People are going to vote for it. If you get the people to like it, you should be able to stop a lot of the problems, a lot of big ones, and then start working on the little ones that just are blackmailed and just want to be nasty continually. Huh? And they're talking about paying student debts and all these things, right? And they're having to go about someone using loopholes now with a scam, right? Got 2 homes, didn't do this right. That's a nothing. You can go to the top, which is what I was just talking about, and it will just solve all that. Right? It'll go, because to fix things, first you've got to speed up. How do you speed up court? At the moment, they just go, it's just this, now go do that. They're trying to speed it up that way, right? As I've been done at court. I mean, it's just this, right? Come to court to fight it. No, you can't fight it. It's just this. Right? They've been doing that a lot lately, right? That's a way of speeding it up. Or you could just go from now on, all the old things, we might investigate later, and the big stuff we will, right? But all small things, we're talking about, overseas, talking about getting rid of student debt and all this, not really going to cost the country anything. It's just going to go, all right, we're going to move on in these areas. Unless the scam is over $50,000 and this and that, like big shit, right? It'll wipe out all the small shit, definitely for the poor people. They've usually learned and got the bull crap on the top that I've talked about in court before, right? They learn it. The government said it was good to smoke, and now it's not good to smoke. You get it? Now I'm getting in trouble. Well, where's the government getting into trouble? And where does the money go? Does that go back to the people who are supporting in that area to get them to get off, right? Cigarettes. I guess they've got ads, right? But it can't. They'll be making a killing in that area, just cigarettes alone, right? And alcohol. How they put it up. There's lots of things that I've talked about, but it's got to start from the top. Otherwise, just mucking around down here, what we do is causing problems. Right? Like right now, they're knocking off people who you can have marijuana, and if you're an older person or medicated, and then now you can't drive here in Australia. Now the person will struggle to go get, I don't work now, I do scraps, which I just told the police, right? The last thing I was doing was scraps before I lost my license. I've been home since. Right? They didn't make it any easier. And I lost my license unrighteous just because they said it just is. You get it? And there was no righteous debate. I couldn't even righteous debate. I become actually dangerous. Got told I was dangerous when I wasn't. That's not right, is it? And if it's not right, how do you think it fixes things? It actually makes things worse. But you can fix them by actually just using science. Right? And then changing things. Once that first incident happened and you got something, then you fix it. If there's something wrong, within a few weeks, months, it should be fixed. We don't have to hear about it 5 years later, 10 years later, like we go back into politicians and they're still whinging about the same basic shit and the $275. Huh? That shit should be. And if you can't do that, as they say, then you can't do the kindergarten shit, then why the hell are you there? Right? How the fuck are you going to do the high school shit, eh, people? Why the fuck are they there? Alright. Anyway, have a good one. And I thought I'd just chuck that out. I like to get things off my mind so I can wind down and then do my own time. You know what I mean again?